Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, Bahamians showing their national pride during the official opening of the multi-million-dollar National Stadium last night. We've got the highlights. And an abandoned building that was once a popular nightclub goes up in flames on East Bay Street. So don't go anywhere. The Bahamas Tonight Weekend Edition starts in 20 seconds.
Covering the islands of the Bahamas, ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight Weekend Edition. I'm LeDaunne Davis. As always, it's great to have you joining us. A proud moment in Bahamian history as the multi-million-dollar Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium officially opened last night with a grand display of Bahamian talent and culture as patriotic Bahamians looked on. Our Cyan Thompson reports tonight on the National Stadium's officially opening ceremony.
Bahamians from all walks of life attended the historic ceremony, and what was even more impressive was the nod of approval given by more than 15,000 fans, including you, who packed into the stadium to witness for yourself the first facility of its kind to be built in the Bahamas. It was a night that put the accomplishments of Bahamian athletes out in front, and a night to remember our place in the global sporting arena. Prime Minister Hubert Ingraham highlighted the role Bahamian athletes have played on the world stage and how this stadium will bring much of that international action here at home. The Prime Minister praised the man, a legendary athlete, for whom the stadium is named.
Tonight we celebrate. We celebrate the embodiment of our Bahamian spirit and our Bahamian pride in Thomas Augustus Robinson, in whose name and honor we dedicate this new stadium. Tommy, you make us all proud. Proud to be a Bahamian. You are a sprinter by training, yet you are also a marathon man, as demonstrated by your considerable contributions to national development and helping to bring to fruition the dream of this day. Tommy, you fought the good fight. You are finishing the race with the very style and grace you exhibited in representing your country in 4 Olympiads. You have kept the faith.
Besides the $30 million gift from the Chinese, the government is investing some $50 million to set the new stadium's infrastructure in and around the state-of-the-art facility. Youth, Sports and Culture Minister Charles Maynard says work has also been done over the last 2 years to give the Bahamas a competitive edge in sports. Last night he announced that effort has paid off.
This creates real opportunities for the Bahamas to extend an invitation to the world to practice, compete, and enjoy the best of the islands of the Bahamas. Our sports name recognition, coupled with our geographical location, climate, and amenities such as the redeveloped LPIA, the Atlantis, and the BAHAMAS properties, sets the foundation. But we realize that other components were equally important.
We will have full team coverage of the National Stadium opening in Monday's newscast. Cyan Thompson, ZNS News.
Thanks, Cyan. The stadium, which holds some 15,000 seats, was indeed filled to capacity, and eager spectators who were not able to get a seat lined the outskirts of the stadium and watched from a distance on the stadium's mega screens with tailgate parties. Attendees telling ZNS News Saturday night that the opening of the National Stadium was the first time in a very long time that thousands of Bahamians were able to come together to display their national pride.
That every Bahamian should be proud of. You have to really be here to experience it. Truly wonderful, well put together. Ray for Uncle Tommy.
It was a spectacular event. I don't think you would get the same reception if you would have stayed home and watched this on TV. This is something you had to have been here to see. History definitely in the making. Never have I seen an event like this in the Bahamas before. You know, a beautiful, beautiful spectacle tonight.
Blankets of smoke covered East Bay Street near the Double D's restaurant this afternoon as an old abandoned building that was once a popular hotspot went up in flames. It's the second time in a few years that the wooden single-story structure caught fire and drew the attention of dozens of bystanders who stood in awe watching the building collapse. Meantime, more than 3 fire trucks rushed to the scene as traffic was diverted to the Potter's Key Dock area. Director of Police Fire Services Assistant Superintendent Walter Evans provided ZNS News the initial details on the fire.
Shortly after 1 p.m. today, the police fire services had received information of a structural fire which is located on East Bay Street just opposite Potter's Key Dock. And upon arrival, officers met a single-story wooden structure fully ablaze. There was a need to call for additional assistance, and there were 3 units in total which were on the scene of this fire. 1 from Paradise Island and 2 from headquarters. The fire was immediately controlled due to the fact that there were exposures or structures which had a significant amount of property on the east and the west of the fire area. A strategy was used to protect those properties, and we were successful in that strategy.
While there were some challenges with water, ASP Evans says they are following some significant leads into their investigation.
Well, we are looking at 1 person right now who may be a possible person of interest. And so once we would have concluded our assessment, and then we will determine exactly where we go from there.
Abaco police need your help to find the person or persons responsible for a shooting incident that has left a man dead and the country's 20th murder victim for the year. Police report that around 4:45 this morning, the body of a man was found at Don McKay Boulevard in Marsh Harbor with multiple gunshot injuries to the body. Police are uncertain of the circumstances surrounding this incident and appeal to the public who may have any information regarding the shooting to contact police at 919-911, the Central Detective Unit at 502-991-502-9910 or Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS. And back here in the capital, skeletal remains were uncovered by police in eastern New Providence. All police would tell us is that the remains were discovered shortly before 6 o'clock Saturday evening in the area of Fox Hill Creek. An active police investigation continues. When we come back, productive relations between the Bahamas and China continues to grow. That story coming up.